Evening, everybody. This is Johnny Seville from Acorn Wealth, and this is your executive summary for stocks up to Thursday. Last day tomorrow of open range bullish bias, and we did have a great up day over these last 2 days. As you can see, the money flow is starting to fade, but that wasn't the most impressive thing in the market. There are some, there's a lot of contrast here. You've got some strong bullish signs and some strong bearish signs. Bearish signs. Market is broken out of an upward channel. That shouldn't happen. That's a build up to something, a bigger drop. That's the first thing. Secondly, high yield bonds obviously have not been able to break out. They are still under resistance with this head and shoulder pattern and waiting to figure out what they want to do next. But right now, they are holding in a bearish formation. For this to break, I mean, this is a plan that's been building since July 2017. For this 5-month-old plan to be broken, something powerful has to happen. But I mean, we got it with a lot of things going on politically, and we've got a government that loves to make money. So that's not out of the realm of possibilities. But that's going on. That's the bearish sign. But if you look at stocks above or below the 50-day moving average, there's a lot of stocks that are starting to power up at the moment. 62% of stocks are above their 50-day moving average, and also about the same percentage are above their 200-day moving average. So there is some support coming back into the market. And that's when we start to look at some of these other bullish areas. Dow Jones Transports, which again is in an upward channel, which is bearish, just had one of its biggest up days that I've seen in the last 2 years. I mean, look back 2 years, this is a huge candle up. You haven't seen that in a while. So that's either a lot of shorts covering, because remember, rallies in bear markets are more impressive than rallies in bull markets, because everyone covers the shorts, they get squeezed, and boom, up you go. So do we keep going? Well, we're at resistance now, so that's going to be a real telltale sign as we go into open range. And the other thing that I found interesting was looking at the Russell 2000. If you look at the Russell 2000, and I'm just going to turn it upside down for you, bing, you'll see that the market appears to be in a head and shoulder pattern. Now this is upside down, so we turn that back the other way around, and this would suggest that the Russell 2000 wants to maybe rally even higher up to 164 on the IWM, which is great because, as you know, the only stocks that we're really looking at for longs are all small cap, mid cap stocks, which are the ones you find in the Russell. So, I mean, the most bullish index is, of course, the one that we're focusing on. So that's a good thing. But that's basically the risks and threats that are coming into the market as we finish off the week and go into December. I couldn't be more excited. If you have a look at the stocks that have been moving, there's been great performance in both directions today. EVHC had a nice rally, as opening at $30.85, closing out at 31, so up a buck, not bad at all. There was Jill, of course, which is one of the ones that I've owned for a while since it broke out here on Friday, November 17th. That was up another 7% today. That's been moving excellently. We've got TISI. That one broke out today. That one's looking great. Good volume. 235,000 yesterday. Twice that today, 574,000. That one's just broken out. Still looks good for an entry. Still like that one a lot. DRRX is pulled back to support and bounced off of that. Like, it's early days for that one, but I still like that one. That's moving well. Win. I said that this might be a possible re-entry if we broke above 250. It did today. So again, that one's on the go again. I'd be looking for that to rally up to the 293 area. So that one's a go. DXCM. This one just powered straight up into its next target. If you didn't take profit yesterday, certainly an opportunity to tag another 5 or so percent today. It's DXCM kept moving. Hive. This one's kept moving, continuing to push. So on the long side, great. But then on the short side, great too. REGN, the short from last night we talked about, great drop. Options were up to $5.70 from $4.40 at the open. I mean, that's awesome. PCLN, which was our other options play we talked about. Those options rallied over 30% today. That's looking excellent. And of course, the big winner was GWRE. We talked about that in trading room last night, and in the executive summary, you had this beautiful upward neckline, head and shoulder, and the best thing about it was money flow has been coming right out the back door. This one could go down a lot more, but we sent out a message today to consider taking some profits because the options we talked about were already up 100% before earnings were announced. Now, earnings have been announced, and if you have a look, where there you go. Now down another 5.72% at $72, which is bam, right where the next moving average is. So you've got perfect technicals. It's gone down in earnings beyond the head and shoulder breakdown down to a secondary target where the moving average is. Again, nothing wrong with taking half your position out tomorrow if you want to let it ride. I mean, that basically puts you up at several 100% gain. And I mean, but this one could continue to go. The money flow is already now plummeted below zero. This could be a longer term move to some more potential drops, even as low as $60 potentially it could get down to. So that's been on the move. EA also dropping today. The $100 puts jumped 42% today. As you can see, now broken the 200-day moving average. This one looks like it's good to go. And JBL also rolling over really well, down from resistance. And this is, again, a long-term possible head and shoulder pattern that could get all the way down to $18. So JBL's looking good. One new one, well, not new, it's already in our list, but I wanted to point out, I was looking at DATA, which was, we were looking for a break below $66, I think it was, for an entry point. Again, so I look at a possible entry criteria here if it breaks 68.43. But what was interesting is I went and looked, this massive divergence in the money flow, big drop. But if you go and have a look at the weekly chart, possible head and shoulders on data. So, I mean, that could get down to $35 and then possibly even lower if it creates a head and shoulder extension. So, I mean, I was looking out at the April 2018 $70 puts, and I think they were about $3 and change. So that's not a bad possible play. Those $70 April puts you could take a look at. So that's interesting. Now, so that's a new possible short. Now on the long side, I do have quite a few that I really like. I mean, I like the ones on my watch list for tonight. HABT, I like. This one it's got some insider buying. It's just starting to power up. Really good volume today, double of that of yesterday, which was 50% more than the day before. So this could be a possibility. A bit more risk to this. I'd be looking for it to break 963, and I'd have a stop loss below the low of 883. So break of 973, looking at a stop criteria of 883. But for a target, this could quite easily run up and hit this 50-day moving average here at 1117. So this is one. The one problem, of course, is the gap, and there's a bigger percentage of risk there. The next one I looked at, but it does have some insider buying. Only one insider, but big percentages. CNSL. I really like this one too. Again, if you look at CNSL here, in terms of its buying, there's quite a lot of people buying. Small dollars, but lots of people doing it, and that's good to see. So CNSL could certainly have a rally here. Again, I'd be looking for this to break out. Excuse me, KEYW. Getting mixed up. Sorry, KEYW. Big percentages, yeah. So 41%, 20%, brand new buyer, 68%, all relatively recent, and multiple people. Multiple people doing it, good percentages. This one, if I'm looking for it to break 573, my target would be 673, and my stop signal there would be 523. So about 50 cents for a dollar of potential, so 2 to 1. So that looks good. The other one of the ones, and I'm ordering this by ones that have insider buying, essentially. That's how I've been differentiating them. TLGT has great buying here, needs to break 403, break this resistance, then it could easily fill the gap up to 493, and possibly even higher, maybe as high as 543, where the moving average is coming in. We'll see how it goes. But I'd be looking at a stop signal of 346. And once again, if we take a look at the insiders, 500% buy, brand new buyer, 4% buyer, 77% increase. And just remember, not everyone has millions of dollars just rolling around. So to some people, when you go and put $20,000, $57,000, $18,000 of your own money, that could be a big portion of their savings. I mean, you never know. So look at the percentage just as much as you do the dollar figure, and that I think was interesting on TLGT, and so that's another one. Other ones you can keep an eye on that are on my watch list. OMI is building some strength. Pitney Bowes, really like that one as well. I mean, all of these look good. Um, CNSL I mentioned already. All of these are good, but and any of them you could look for triggers tomorrow. I'll certainly be watching them all, but I wanted to give you the setups really focused on the ones that had the insider buying, but you can keep those other ones on your watch list as well. So I hope that helps. Have a wonderful night and happy trading.